for as little as you actually have to do with your MP, the federal government and federal policies, whether they're environment, whether they are building pipelines, whether they're anything else that ultimately affects your life, your job, your livelihood, your ability to function, is going to be determined by whomever wins this next election. And to not participate, to not take that responsibility and say, well, I have some say in it. I don't believe in the notion you don't get to complain if you don't get to vote. I don't even mind people saying...
Well, we know you like to complain.
I like to complain. I know people will say, I've got no one to vote for. If you don't, go out there, cast your vote, and spoil your ballot, but just say you did, because at least you're exercising your right to do so, and you're committing yourself to that engagement. And I think people need to do so.
One thing that we hear a lot too is they're all the same. You know, either nobody represents my interest, nobody represents my political position, or they're all crooks. You know, you'll hear that on the doorsteps too. This time it does seem like there's a wider spectrum, with the Greens being in play, with the PPC now being a party. Do voters have more choice than they had before?
Well, one of the problems is it's not a banner time for strong political leadership, and that sometimes reflects each and every individual party and campaign. So I think that is an issue. We don't have the national profiles that we once did, and in where we do in cases like the Prime Minister and Justin Trudeau, there's been pretty direct criticism in terms of what he's like and what he's perceived to be. But to say that Justin Trudeau is the same as Elizabeth May, to say that they're the same as Andrew Scheer or Jagmeet Singh, no, obviously they're not. Like, I mean, you've listened to them, and I think the variety is great. I think the real problem is that people aren't taking the time and trouble to sort of see what they like about each campaign and how that fits to their most important values.
What will this mean for the result? What will turnout change in terms of which party has an advantage in the province?
Probably not anyone other than themselves in terms of sort of how the results are, but there actually might be a couple races. If you look at what's happening in Regina Louvain and potential change there, I think Ralph Goodale in Regina Wascana is having a tougher race than he's had. Certainly if you're a northern voter, northern votes count exponentially more than southern votes. So that's one particular area where there's going to be a couple interesting Saskatoon races, including Saskatoon West. Anywhere there's sort of a competitive race, I think there's a real buy-in, a real need to become involved and vote, and maybe that's where I think you're going to actually see political parties really up their game in terms of getting their people out.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for staying with us.